Good morning. Tuesday, April 26, 2022. Who is greater, Babe Ruth or Lou Gehrig? This is interesting. What I want to do is, they played for the Yankees, right? 1920s, 1930s. Ruth batted third, Gehrig four. What if both of them played in the same number of games and had the same number of bats? Who would have the better stats? This is interesting to me. Let's look at a lot of categories and see how they match up, okay? Career average, runs scored, RBIs, home runs, triples, doubles, singles, total bases, slugging, on base, strikeouts, at bats, games, stolen bases, walks, hits, years played, 100 RBI seasons, most runs in a season, most RBIs in a season, most 200 hit seasons, highest batting average, most home runs in a season. Let's look at it. See who wins the matchup. Now, Gehrig played in 2,164 games. Ruth played in 2,503. That's a difference of roughly 340 games. So Ruth played 340 more games. So do remember that he pitched for 3 or 4 or 5 years off and on to start his career. As a result, he played 22 years. Gehrig played 17 years, and we know he has the consecutive game streak. So when he was playing all those consecutive games, and Ruth was missing games during his playing time, Ruth missed games, got suspended, missed half a season. Basically, Ruth got his stats in about 17 years. Did you know that? Because his first 4 or 5 years, he was pitching in 194 games. So how should we look at it? I think it's better to look at the at-bats. Gehrig had 8,001 at-bats. Ruth had 8,399. That's only a difference of 398 more at-bats. So they're very close to at-bats. So the games played, Ruth played the 300 games more, 350 more games. But as far as at-bats, they only separate by 398. So that's interesting. So let's look at the stats, see what happens. Gehrig, 340 lifetime batting average. Ruth, 342. Give it to Ruth. Runs scored. Gehrig had 1,888. Ruth, 2,214. But if we give Gehrig another 398 at bats to match the same number of bats as Ruth, how many more runs would he have scored? This is interesting. So in a season, if you have 500 at bats, you maybe score 100 runs. So I'd say about 80 more. Wouldn't you say that'd be fair? 398 more at bats, he scores 80 runs. That would have gave him about 1,990, so he would have fallen short. So we're going to give that to Ruth. 2-0 Ruth. RBIs, 1,995 for Gehrig, 2,174 for Ruth. Again, if Gehrig gets 398 more at bats, how many more RBIs would he have had? 500 at bats, you can get 100 RBIs. So 398 more at bats, give him about 80 more RBIs, right? So he would have ended up with about 2,080. Still falls short. 3-0 Ruth. Home runs, we know Gehrig had 493, Ruth 714. Got to give it to Ruth. That's 4-0. Triples, Gehrig 163, Ruth 136. So give it to Gehrig. 4-1 Ruth. Doubles, Gehrig 534, Ruth 506. Give it to Gehrig, 4-2. Singles. Gehrig 1531, Ruth 1516. Give it to Gehrig, 4-3. Total bases. Gehrig had 5,060. Ruth 5793. He's like 700 ahead, and if you have 398 more at bats, he's not going to catch. Give it to Ruth. 5-3 Ruth. Slugging 632 Gehrig, 690 Ruth. Give it to Ruth. 6-3. On base. Gehrig 447, Ruth 474. Give it to Ruth. 7-3. Strikeouts. Gehrig has 790. Ruth 1,330. Give it to Gehrig. 7-4. At bats. Okay, the same. Games. We have, even though Ruth had 350 more games, we're looking at the at bats, which is the at bats is the key. There's only 398 more at bats for Ruth. So I'm adding the at bats for Gehrig to match Ruth and see how they match. Okay. Stolen bases. Gehrig 102, Ruth 123, 8-4. Walks. Gehrig 1,508, Ruth 2,062. He's not going to catch him. 9-4. Hits. Gehrig 27-21, Ruth 28-73. That's a difference of about 152. Separate the hits. So, if Gehrig has 398 more at bats, would he get 152 hits? I think he would. I do. Because Gehrig had 200 hit seasons and 500 at bats. So you got to figure 398, he's probably about 170. So add the 170, he passes Ruth in hits. So I'm going to give it to Gehrig on the career hits. 9-5. Years played, okay, 17 for Gehrig, 22 for Ruth, but I'm looking at bats. 100 RBI seasons. Gehrig had 13, so did Ruth. But if Gehrig has 398 more at bats, can he get 100 RBIs? I think so, because he had 185 RBIs and 500 at bats one year. I think he passes him. He would have had his 14th 100 RBI season. Give him 398 more at bats. 9-6. Runs scored, most for Gehrig, 167. Ruth, 177. I'll give it to Ruth. RBIs in a season. Gehrig had 185 one year. The highest for Ruth was 168. Give it to Gehrig. 10-7 Ruth. 200 hit seasons. Gehrig had 8 of them. Ruth only 3. 10-8 Ruth. Highest batting average. The highest for Gehrig was 379. Did you know that Ruth one year batted 393 in a full season? Give it to Ruth. 11-8. Home runs. The highest for Gehrig was 49. The highest for Ruth, we all know the number, 60. 12-8, the final. Babe Ruth outperformed Lou Gehrig if they had the same number of at-bats. 8,399 at-bats for both of them. And Babe Ruth wins in categories 12-8. What do you think of that? I want to point out something here. The first greater than series, I've been doing matchups. I've been doing who is greater than. First one I did was Babe Ruth versus Ty Cobb. Babe Ruth out. I did the same thing. I did games and at bats for Ruth and Cobb. Ruth edged out Cobb, I believe, by 2 categories and won the categories overall. Then I did Babe Ruth versus Henry Aaron. He beat Aaron. He edged him out. Then I did another one. Babe Ruth versus Ted Williams. That was close. But again, Ruth, in all the categories, edged him out. I think he beat Williams by 1. So far, Babe Ruth, if you add up all the categories and you match them up, and both players have the same games and the same at-bats, Babe Ruth so far has beaten Ty Cobb, Henry Aaron, Ted Williams, and now he just beat Lou Gehrig. You want me to match him up with somebody else up there? We can try Hornsby. We can try Wagner. We can try Jimmy Fox. We can even try Stan Musial. I'll look at it and stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Tuesday, April 26, 2022. Canard Zone reporting from Vista, California, and living on planet Earth. Thanks for watching. I'm out.